Oh, wrong one. But hey, good morning. Welcome to the Blue Gamer Bluecast Morning Show. I'm your host, Adam Blue, 30-plus year video game enthusiast and industry analyst. I'm happy to talk some games. I didn't play a lot of games yesterday, actually. I didn't. And that does happen from time to time. There's been moments in my life where I've actually gone I've probably gone a month without playing a game. Even in recent times, probably gone a week. A lot of times it's during the work week, where maybe I'll get a minute or two. But yeah, so interesting news have come out of some new Xbox hardware from Microsoft. So we'll talk about that. Also related, the PS5 Pro is going to get some sort of update. So I want to kind of talk about what they're doing and see what this means for what we might see out of the future of game consoles, etc. The other, sorry, dog is destroying everything. Okay. And then the other thing is we'll get into, well, we might not actually. Rise of the Ronin, just came out. And I've been trying to download it, but Steam is slow. And it's so funny how that happens just randomly. Like normally Steam is fine, or like lately I've been able to download the games right before I start my stream. Rise of Ronin was stuck in, I'm sure it's a Steam issue. But yeah, let's dive into some of this stuff. Let me pull up the screen. What have I been playing? Well, nothing. I played a little bit of Dungeons of Hinterberg yesterday for maybe, I don't know. And it lost its appeal because it's like I'm in the open world where I have to find a dungeon, and then I find this place and it says, would you like to increase your health and whatever here? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I go to do that. But then it transitions to the next day, and then I'm back in the city, and then, or not the next day, it's that night, and I'm back in the city. Then I have to go to my bed and then wake up and then talk to someone the next day. And then they tasked me with getting some stuff that I was supposed to use for that fight I was doing yesterday when I kept dying. I was totally underleveled. I didn't have all the proper stuff. So I got 2 new abilities, and then I think another. Anyway, so then I go back to that other open world to go find the dungeon, and then I go, the other way where it was an easier dungeon. And then I get in there, and the dungeon is just a series of platforming, very reminiscent to the Smurfs game I was just playing recently, where it's almost like you're using the chain you have to like pull platforms towards you to jump onto. And while that's cool, that was not what I was expecting to get out of the game, especially with the first dungeon I played, where it was more action exploration, and this one was more of just puzzle platforming, which it's cool that it's got those difference of things, but I was really more into the action part of the game and not action exploration, not necessarily the platforming puzzle. But I might jump into it more. We'll see. Now that Rise of the Ronin's here, maybe not. But I just want to say, I feel like Dungeons of Hinterberg is a game that anyone could play and anyone could find enjoyment out of it. I mean, just thinking as going through it, all the different ways that it works and how it's subtle in all of its different ways. So nothing lingers too long. It's very interesting. And actually, let me look something up. I never looked up who the developers were. If they were some brand new developer never heard of. Let's see. Micro Bird Games. Oh, no, it was made in Unity. Micro Bird Games. Was that it? Which is fine, I guess. Okay, is an indie game studio located in Austria, founded by Regina Reisinger and Philip Seifried in 2020. I gotta say, for a first time press kit by Rami Ismail from Vlambeer. Okay, it's a bunch of indie people helping each other out, but I guess what. Oh, hey, Jim Killex, good to see you. What I guess is interesting is it's like a first time game, and I think it's really well done. It's really well done. And then, but this Curve Games, nothing. So this is just stuff they've published, and it's just been mainly small things. I mean, they do have For the King, which seemed like a little bit of a bigger release, but interesting. The Ascent, yeah, familiar with that. I love it how interesting games can come out of nowhere, especially when really bad games can come from big studios. It's crazy. Okay, let's get into some of this more interesting news. Windows Central, Jez Corden. Xbox's new hardware plans begin with a gaming handheld set for later this year, which has always been rumored, so it's cool that it's still the case, because I'm excited about that, with full next-gen consoles targeting 2027. First up, it seems Microsoft is working with a PC gaming OEM, think Asus, Lenovo, MSI, Razer, etc., on an Xbox-branded gaming handheld, surprisingly slated for later in 2025 if the plans are met. Codename Keenan, which maybe that means the other hardware is Kel. This gaming handheld will look unmistakably Xbox, we're told, complete with an official guide, Xbox guide button, and Xbox design sensibilities. Given that this is a partner device similar to Lenovo's SteamOS partnership with Valve, I expect this handheld to be more PC-oriented. It'll most likely run full Windows, putting the Microsoft Store and PC Game Pass front and center alongside the ability to install things like Steam. And that's what's cool about having the ROG Ally. I love it. I use it regularly. And the ROG Ally, the only problem I have with it is the D-pad. And it's not that it's bad, but it's, I guess the thing when it comes to PC and console gaming nowadays is we can really find the perfect controller. There's so many controllers out there that you could test them out until you find what works for you. Like how this Vader 4 Pro has the tension rings around the analog stick so you can loosen it or tighten it up on the fly. And that is awesome. And so that's the one thing about buying a handheld device is the controls. Now, luckily with the Switch, and here's a good example. Oh my God. Because the Joy-Cons can be removed. I have a custom set on here, but there could be, by now, I think better ones that actually have a longer protrusion at the bottom. Because what happens is where my pinky is down here, I'm holding it really tight at the bottom and it tends to cramp up. So by having the longer area here for my pinkies, they can kind of I can kind of grip this relaxed. Whereas this, I'm really having to hold on to the bottom. Anyway, but what I'm trying, and here's the other example, the PlayStation Portal, and maybe I can do this. The PlayStation Portal has really nice controls because it's a DualSense 5, or DualShock 5, DualSense, which, sure, subjective, but it's still really high quality and it feels really good. And so I would want them to go direction of the Lenovo. Is it the Legion Go that has the detachable side? I think that's what these handhelds need to do. Now, if not, um, and they, I'll deal with that later. And if they go with, built in, it's like they have to have some sort of customizing that. And I think that's what's going to stand out. If you have an Xbox branded handheld, there needs to be something to make it stand out. And I think it needs to be something to do with the controls. And I wonder if they're going to look at the. Now they are using third party, but third party can still get access to all their stuff. But anyway, if you look at, the controls, how they're kind of like separated here so you can get the grip. This is kind of the design I would want a Xbox handheld to have. We'll see. I still think understanding the wants of a consumer when it comes to these handheld devices, or maybe the needs of the want, is still being figured out. I'm excited. Switch 2 is coming out this year. And I think the big thing with that is what I'm anticipating, what I'm hoping for. My expectation is when they announce the Switch 2, either there's a game that's going to make me want to get the Switch 2, or they're going to say what games are backwards compatible that have upgrades, like Hyrule Calamity Wars or something like that. Hyrule Warriors, Calamity Wars. Okay, so Xbox then. We just talked about the Switch, why I'd get it. An Xbox handheld, why would I get one? Well, if it's not too different than the ROG Ally that I already have, I probably wouldn't bother. Again, I'll get it if there seems to be some unique controls stuff to it, because the idea with this Xbox handheld, it would still also have Steam. And so that's the handheld, right? Running Windows, Xbox, Steam. Now, the other thing is another console hardware, okay? Because indeed, our source also indicated that Microsoft's internal successor to the Xbox Series XS platform has been fully greenlit all the way up to CEO Satya Nadella. For now, I understand that Microsoft's next-gen hardware plans include a premium successor to the powerful Xbox Series X alongside its own Xbox gaming handheld and several new controller options. Tentatively, it seems these new console devices are slated for 2027. It seems that the next-gen Xbox consoles will be closer to Windows than ever before, and yeah, we know all that. So, a console 2027. I think that makes sense. Just, the PS5 Pro just came out. We're just getting the Switch 2, which is not going to be any more powerful than the Series X or the PS5 Pro. So not needing another more powerful hardware until later makes sense, and having a Switch-like device come out right now makes sense. So Xbox is making sense in that way. And okay, so from what I heard, and I might have this in other, I don't know. Okay, yeah, next gen console for 20. Was it in this one that said well, it was something about where they would make a hardware that is basically a PC, just straight up a PC in a TV friendly shell to put in your entertainment center. Which yeah, that would make sense. Just like any other console, I'm just trying to think like by 2027, not only are graphics going to be better, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of AI. Actually, let me go back. Was I not sharing the last one? Well, there's really nothing to show. But the AI stuff will get better by then, where I think it's going to require less on the hardware itself. So you could essentially get very powerful hardware that's slimmed down by 2027, right? Like, I know that's always the case, but I think it's going to be even more with the AI, especially because, and do I have that here? Something very similar to FSR4 is coming to PS5 Pro in 2026. So what's very interesting is even in the PlayStation arena, we're getting these upgrades because the PS5 Pro is going to get a software upgrade. It's pretty much AI. All this stuff that the PS5 Pro does is pretty much AI. It's all algorithm to make graphics look a certain way. It's just that it has very powerful hardware to allow that to happen. But again, we're getting to a point where the AI is getting pretty good on its own, where you don't need as much hardware. You can stream maybe some of the calculations. So what I'm getting at is I think the next Xbox is going to fully take advantage of having a slimmer, smaller profile, leveraging all the AI by that point. And I think PlayStation is going to be doing that with the PS6. Right now with the PS5 Pro, that's just their standard. Hey, we had a 5, here's the Pro version, all that. But I'm less excited about PlayStation. I mean, there's been word of a handheld in place. I think the Portal does it well. It's just that you can't install games on there and it doesn't run the games, but playing on the cloud works. But would Sony then come out with a portable handheld? And that's the rumor, that it's a more Vita-like successor than the Portal, which would make sense because I think that's the direction all of these companies are going to go, to the point to where, let's say Xbox's hardware that comes out later, all of these are going to eventually be handheld hybrid consoles where the graphical power doesn't matter. The power that it requires doesn't matter. And so you could just beam something to your TV, beam it to a device. I can't wait. So really, to wrap all of this up, what's going on that I find very interesting is Xbox is having a handheld come out this year, not made by them, but it's officially licensed. Xbox can be custom. I'm just curious about the controls. That's my main thing. But they are going to have more hardware come out by 2027. But is it going to truly be a beast of a machine, or by then are we going to have enough AI algorithms and cloud calculations in place where it's not going to need that? It's going to have a specialized chip made for taking that sort of data and projecting it. And then, yeah, with the Switch 2, I don't know what surprise Nintendo has. If they don't have any sort of surprise, then it's really going to be they need to double down on their first party stuff. So anyway, that was a little quick rundown of, I guess, where the three are now in terms of hardware, what we're going to be getting soon. It's exciting stuff for the next couple of years. And then if you think about it, there's always stuff coming out. Like the Portal was last year. You know, the this new Xbox handheld and the Switch is this year. A new Xbox console next year. So yeah, PSVR 2, that might have also been last year, the year before, but it's just there's always gaming hardware that comes out. And it's something you got to think about when you're wanting to buy this stuff. And I think that's why then there's a lot of people, and I think it's a small percentage, though, of people that are online all the time, but also take a side in gaming. All right, there goes that morning sneeze. Because normally, I feel like people that play games don't really care about the console wars or what. They just buy a game to play. But then when people go online, they can then see, oh, this is what other games offer. Oh, but I'm on this ecosystem. But I think the majority of people that are talking about games online would buy or have all, or don't care to have all the systems. Anyway, let's go back to some of these other things I grabbed. Forgotlings launches June 12th for PC, and then later for all the other consoles. This looks pretty neat. I haven't looked at this yet, so we're now all looking at this for the first time. As a breathtaking cinematic action adventure set. Okay, now cinematic, story rich. And now I'm not as interested. But look at that. Look at some of the. So I don't know what might be the cartoon and what might, or the animation, and what might be the gameplay. It's just, yes, gameplay like that looks cool. This kind of 2D, like zoomed in on an anime or something. And that looks like, it's like, okay, now I'm starting to understand. Is this main hero have a face on his chest? And it looks like Pinocchio with a mustache. There's a lot of interesting things going on here. Okay, so, see, some of this 2D stuff looks cool. Wait, there's a demo? There's a demo? Is it safe for me to... the game doesn't look like it would take up much space. Because if I can try that here real quick, that might be pretty cool. I just don't want to load it up and then it's 10 minutes of story. Okay, while that's doing that, read that one. Chrono Trigger celebrates 30th anniversary. Various projects beyond the game world planned. I remember when this game came out on the Super Nintendo, and I didn't play it, but I was so enamored with it. The reason I didn't play it is because whenever I would go to the video rental store or want to buy a game, this was the last game I would get just because I knew it was a JRPG. Back in that time, I think we still said JRPG because it was just the idea that the RPG came from Japan. And I know there's different ways to say JRPG, but Chrono Trigger had an awesome story. Just reading in the video game magazines, especially like EGM back in that time, there was so much cool coverage on this game, and I was so enamored by, again, the name Chrono Trigger, the story. I almost felt like I had gone on that adventure, but I hadn't, and I need to. And so this was kind of a reminder that I need to play Chrono Trigger. And I've even seen online, and I don't know if this is the right group to ask or if I should ask others, that like you could get a ROM, but you can then also there's a hack for it that minimizes a lot of the grind, and I think that would allow me to then really get into the game. I don't know, because this is one of those games where I probably would want to play it for the story as well. That doesn't happen too often, but it does happen. So from this to mark 30th anniversary to express our gratitude to everyone who has played Chrono Trigger so far. So I guess that's not me. We are planning a variety of projects over the next year that will go beyond the world of the game. Please look forward to the latest information. Cool. So I guess it's the next year, throughout the year, them doing celebrations. So maybe I need to throw that on as my background game. So later today, I'll probably do research. What's the best way to play this game? Is it the official releases? Is it the DS version? Maybe. I have a 3DS, but I would want to track achievements. So I'll see if there's one that's achievement trackable. Oh, actually, let's do this. Give it some time to load. Okay, let's type in Chrono Trigger and see. Come on. I feel like today the internet has been slow. Okay. Oh. Let me pause. Rise of the Ronin, that stopped. Forgotlings just okay, let me go back to this. Okay. This does have achievements. This has achievements. No, I don't know. Okay, so there are different versions that do have achievements. I've heard the DS version is the best to play through. And I like that I have this open map down here. I don't know what to expect. But yeah, achievements, and look at this. There is a way to see no, there's a way to actually see people that are playing, like it would say. Oh man, how did I find that? Oh, that was it might have been Exophase. So let's search Chrono Trigger. Oh, here we go. PS1 version, but I want to look at the DS. It's not here. So there used to be a way where you could see people playing. Players track 232. We'll check that out later. Okay. Here's what we'll do. Forgotlings has downloaded. I'll launch that. and we'll see what the fuss is. And by fuss, I mean my fuss, because it looks graphically, it looks amazing, but it looks like there's a lot of story too. So again, I just want to throw out there, I love that with Meld, it was so easy for me to launch this game and then just switch to that screen. All right, choose your difficulty level. If you are more interested in experiencing the story, it will make combat in the game very easy. Okay, just do normal. So that tells me that they focus on story if they have an option to play. Forgotlings takes place in the Forgotten Lands, where lost forgotten objects from the human world wake up as sentient beings called Forgotlings. I'm glad I read that. That will explain a lot of what's going on here. Okay, so you're just a dude or a thing or a Forgotling. Like, look at that animation. Okay. No, there's no skipping, is there? Seems to be a mix of in-engine stuff and... Oh, here we go. Wow, look at this. Did he have a little thing come up?
I hope Sylvia's safe.
Wow, look at this. He's into the inside of Agora Mountain in search of his friend Sylvia, but bandits roam the mountain seeking to pillage its secrets. Press to the pause menu, access control, how to control. Okay. A lot of combat. Okay, cool. Okay, you don't use the D-pad to move. One thing that I find very interesting is the camera FPS versus the character moving FPS. I'm not a fan, but I'll give it to you because this game just looks better than, not better. This game has a very interesting, unique art style that we don't see much.
That's Sylvia's yawn on these bandit armor.
Ah, okay. You can just... Oh, I wonder what... Is that a secret? Cool. So it looks like there's some currency that's hidden around. The controls work really good. Let's see. Interesting that I can't... Alright, cool. Okay, getting Prince of Persia vibes as different things have different animations.
I better tread carefully.
You have to go through. Okay, that looks like something from Warhammer. Okay, nothing over there. Neat. Okay, maybe I was supposed to do something here and I didn't fully. Whoa, what was that? A camera? Oh, block. B's to dash backwards. Oh, here we go. Climb up here. Nothing over there. Jump there. Okay. Wait. Oh, cool. Didn't look like he'd make that. Yeah, that's where the Prince of Persia-ness comes in. This sort of animations. Okay. Oh, I had to hold it down.
It must be powered by the oven next to it. It's awfully dark here. I should feed this oven some crystals.
Oh, okay. Well, Glad I had those crystals. Oh, okay, there we go. So that turned it on. That. Oh, can I hit these up there? I don't know. Okay. All right. Let's see. What else is going on? Ah, there we go. That was cool. Oh, and then I push this. There we go. Okay, they said there was a lot of combat. Where is it? Whoa, secret. Oh, does that take me to those barrels I saw earlier? I was like, how do I get those? All right, I like how intuitive this game is on the outset. It's just like what I'm thinking. Oh, can I do this? And then it works. All right, I got about 1 minute, and it is going to be at the 30, so I got to jump for work. But let's see what else we can have. What else we can find, because I wanted to get into some combat.
Please, my Videra colleagues will be looking for me.
Shut it! We want to get out of here just as much as you.
Wow. Yeah, this is really good animation.
Leave it be, Forgotlings.
As I say, as I try to skip.
Just hurry up and tell us what it says.
I really just want to see combat, especially this is just a demo.
I'm not sure my intervention here right now would be a good idea. Better stay out of sight and move on until I get a good sense of the space.
So the game is pretty much telling me not to engage.
This sorcery is the precursor to the very technology powering your armor. Please have some respect for the antique.
Interesting. Didn't know what I was expecting there. Seems like there's something that could... Oh, there we go. See how intuitive this is? So I can't do... Can I not do anything there yet? No. Let's see. No fall damage? Oh, am I not supposed to... Oh. I want to fight him, though. Okay, they are kind of tough, but... Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to be fighting all these guys. So, combat... One button... You do have a dodge roll. You can take pictures with your little dude. I don't know why. All right, come up here. I dare you. But other than that, there's no other... Well, another trolls. All right, it's that time. I have to jump, but... That is a good-looking game, isn't it? I'm going to have to come back to this sometime, but probably the full one, not the... And if we look at the store page real quick. June 12th, 2025. So, all right, all, thanks for joining. That was a lot of fun. Talking about new hardware rumors, and then, yeah, playing Forgotlings. But I'll head out. Until next time, have a good one. See y'all.